Hello everyone, I'm Joe Bishop, Bishop Backwoods Survival. Today I'm going to show you a gun I picked up here recently. It's a Hatfield. See Hatfield right there? It's called the SGL, stands for single. This is actually in 20 gauge. It's got a 28 inch vent rib barrel, as you can see looking down it. If you can look down it, pretty nice barrel on it. It's chambered for 3-inch Magnum, 2 3/4 and 3-inch Magnum. Made that up for it. It's a, you see it's got my name on the back of it. I was going to put Ghost on there, but I decided to go with Bishop. Holds 5 extra shells. These are 2 3/4, and if I got one in it, I'll actually have 6 shots. But what I'm going to actually do, I'm going to take this back one here, and after I shoot a shell, I'm going to pack one of those. Either I probably end up putting a like a little fishing kit into it and blocking off the edge of it, so I have a little, you know, if I'm out in the woods and come across the pond while I'm hunting or doing that survival type thing, I have something to fish with. I probably should be able to put quite a few hooks and some nice little bit of fishing line, probably about 20-30 yards of fishing line, and maybe even a small bobber and some weights in there, and I can always make a cane pole. Pretty pleased with this little gun. Like I say, it's got a 28 inch vent rib barrel, and works pretty good. To break it down, you actually pull on the trigger guard and it breaks open like this. The only thing I don't like about it is, like the old guns used to break it down, this just kind of, it just sits there. I used to like I got a Stevens 20 gauge and a 12 gauge. When you break it down, boom, it'd shoot that shell out. My thing was I'd catch it and stick it in my pocket or whatever. But this has got a hammer block for safety. It's ready to fire. I can actually fire it while it's decocked. I mean, while it's broken down. But that safety bar in there, I don't know if you can see it moving there or not, but that's so you can fire it. But if it's on safety, you can still pull the trigger and it won't hit the hammer. The hammer's right there. Pretty good. It shoulders real well. You know, a lot of people talk about survival guns. I'd have this for a survival gun. I'd have me an FKS or AK-47 or AR-15 or 22 or 30-06 or 308 or 25-06. You know, I can name a bunch of different calibers. But really, some of the training that I've done, you get down in South America in the jungle, and them guys run around with single shot 12 gauges, single shot 20 gauges, and single shot 16 gauges. And they carry a ramrod with them because they're out in the jungle all the time and a lot of moisture and rust and stuff. And just like this in here, where it won't shoot the shell out, a lot of theirs, that extractor, this here opens up whenever you bend it forward, it just pushes the extractor out. But a lot of them were spring loaded, so it'd shoot that shell out. Well, it wouldn't shoot out, so they would take a ramrod and knock it out and pocket the shell, and they reloaded a lot of their shells. They take 209 primers. It's pretty simple. That's a 209 primer like they use in some of the black powder guns now, the more modern black powder guns. And you can knock that out pretty easily with a screwdriver. Pop another one back in, take some FFG, throw in there, because you ain't gonna overload these modern guns with FFG. You throw you a piece of wadding in there, whether it be paper wadding or whatever, throw you a little bit of shot in there, and the shot can be anything from pieces of nail heads to taking car tire off and heating it up with a torch and letting it drip over a bucket of water, and it'll form little looks like rainlet droplets, and you dump some of that in there, and you throw you another wadding on top, and whether you super glue it or you just pack it in there with some other kind of fibrous material, and you got a pretty good little shot load there. And they use them a lot down there in the jungles. So you want to learn anything, go through some jungle survival school training, and you'll get a good idea of what works and what don't work. And as far as putting game on the table, I can shoot bird shot, I can shoot buckshot, I can shoot slugs, and I can shoot my homemade concoctions or whatever. If it will fit in the end of that bore and slide in pretty easily, I can shoot it out of it. And that can be small marbles, not 5/8 marble, because 5/8 marble too big. Other buckshot. I could go to a shooting range where somebody shot into a bunch of dirt, dig out the lead from there, smelt it down into my molds and make whatever I want to, or I can just take the broken up piece of lead or pieces of rock or pieces of steel and shoot it in there. The only bad part about using FFG is it's corrosive. So what you want to do is make sure you clean your gun every once in a while. And like I said, a pretty cool thing about this thing, it almost folds in half, and that ain't very big. Roughly 28 inches long. You could throw that underneath your seat, behind your seat, or whatever. I'm in the process of making me a sling, and I think I'm going to drill it right there. I'm going to have to go in here to this part, fix that up, make my sling, and I've got this in the 20 gauge, and I also got a 410. And I'll probably end up picking up the 12 gauge too, just because I like single shotguns. They make you, to me, I think it makes you a more accurate shot, because if I had 30 rounds in here and I'm like until I run out, I may have hit my target. But the most deadliest thing on a battlefield is one well-aimed round. I throw it up, I take my time, I sit there and got my trigger control, brush control, and I sit there and I squeeze off that trigger. And when this gun goes off, it should kind of like startle me, because I don't know when it's going off and stuff. You see a lot of people snatching on the trigger like that. You sit there and you aim it, and that's nice, easy squeeze. And with a shotgun, because it kicks up a little bit, you aim just a little bit more lower than what your target is. And if I was trying to put someone in the chest, I'd aim probably about the belly button. By the time it rose up, I guarantee I have someone in the chest. So, I'm Joe Bishop. I'm Joe Bishop, Bishop Backwoods Survival. This is a Hatfield single in 20 gauge. Is it the best gun in the world? Nope, but for $100, it ain't too bad. So I'm Joe Bishop, Bishop Backwoods Survival, and y'all have a good day.